Man, they got some fancy helmets, don't they? Huh?
Shiny.
Yeah.
Those are the new look helmets that they've been sporting a few times this season. Dre Brown back deep. Illinois won the toss, and they elected to receive the football.
Yeah, you talk about Dre Brown. It's nice to see him back. He's had to overcome a couple ACL injuries. I always marvel at these kids that keep getting knocked down, get back up, and go again. Credit to him.
Minnesota looking for their win, their 5th win of the season. This would be a big one for them if they want to go bowling. But both schools having a tough schedule down the stretch. Short kick into the win. And Dre Brown will take it from the 10 across the 25 to the 27. And that is where A.J. Bush, the senior from Alpharetta, Georgia, will take over. You mentioned he's a little bit of a better runner. The numbers certainly bear that out. M.J. Rivers started last week, but he had the concussion, so Bush is in and under center.
Yeah, and a well-traveled guy. You know, Nebraska, junior college, Virginia Tech, now here. He's got a lot of experience.
He will start from the shotgun with the talented Reggie Corbin to his right. Always have to account for Corbin, but Corbin is taken down at the line. Very nice tackle by Kamal Martin. Getting back to A.J. Bush, thrust into action last week in Maryland with the Rivers concussion. And then when he came in, he was pretty good.
You talk about a big play guy. That would be my nickname for him. Watch out right here.
Reggie Corbin. Across the 50, Reggie Corbin. He's been doing this all season long. Touchdown, Illinois. 72 yards. His 6th run of the season, coach, of 50 yards or more.
Did I say call him big play? Watch it right here. Awful good blocking. They lost the edge. Good blocking on the perimeter. One guy is not going to bring him down. He gets out there like that. He is off to the races.
Unbelievable. He had touchdowns last week of 69 yards. He had one against Wisconsin of 80. That one for 72. Reggie Corbin knows how to go the distance.
Well, I'll tell you, the play before that Kamal Martin made the tackle on the first play for scrimmage, that would have been gone. But watch the big guy out there. Good kick out, good block. Kept his hands on the inside. He's going to get a good block by the wide receiver right there, staying square. And the rest is history.
Yeah, but Darian Lowe made that first block, and then Stampley, the wide receiver, as you noted. And Reggie Corbin does the rest.
You talked about Lowe, the big tackle. He's only 6'6", 315 pounds. Wow, good athlete.
So you add this touchdown to what they did last week against Maryland. 4 touchdowns combined, all over 60 yards.
Oh, man. I joke about that. You don't know how hard that is to do. Wow.
Corbin warming up earlier without any shoes on. He knows how to get into his zone.
Well, wow. Getting those feet all loosened up. And the thing about it, he's been averaging over 8 yards a carry, but he's only been carrying the ball about 11 times a game. Levy, give it to him more, baby.
So a great start for the Fighting Illini. Now we'll see if Minnesota has a counter. Well, hey, the first thing we said when we came on air, you talked about explosive plays. These defenses have to limit them. Well, now we'll see if Illinois' defense can stop Minnesota.
Yeah, well, the first test out, Minnesota didn't pass that test. Now let's see what happens with Tanner Morgan. And the thing about the Minnesota offense, if you look at the strength of their offense, it's the wide receivers. They got a bunch of them.
Yeah, the headliner is Tyler Johnson, wearing number 6 in white. And at the top of your screen. So second career start for Morgan, and it begins with a run on the ground by Mohamed Ibrahim, who missed last week with an undisclosed injury, but he is back and gets 11 yards.
you think about it, you know, that Minnesota, they've got good backs. He really would be their third back. You know, that Rodney Smith was injured, Shannon Brooks got injured again, and here he's done a remarkable job as being the next man up.
And Shannon Brooks will not play in this game. He traveled, but he will not play after that non-contact injury last week against Indiana. So after the 11-yard run, that one batted at the line, it popped in the air and it hit the ground. It's going to be ruled incomplete. Nearly intercepted. Tony Adams and Sidney Brown, they came flying in.
I'm not sure the officials are sure.
Here's Dan Capron.
Complete pass. Second down.
I thought they had another one. You know, the defense has struggled, but they have 13 interceptions on the year. Good play there on the quarterback, and man, they almost had another one.
Ooh, it was close. Yeah, Tony Adams almost reeled that in. And give credit to Tymir Oliver for getting the pressure on Morgan that forced the duck. Good space for Ibrahim. And he'll be a yard shy, give him 9. Auto Owners Insurance Impact Players.
Yeah, Tyler Johnson, watch out for the slants. Good as wide receiver in the league.
And speaking of Tyler Johnson, first down across the 50.
Yeah, and then you already talked about Ibrahim, and he's awful good. And on defense, Delshawn Phillips, he's got 3 interceptions on the year. Bobby Roundtree from the defensive end position, he has to put pressure on Tanner Morgan.
He leads him in tackles for loss, does Bobby Roundtree. So that's mission number 1 for him, is get home to the quarterback. And Seth Green in at quarterback. They put him in often for the Wildcat, but he hands it off to Ibrahim, who is pushed out in front of that Minnesota sideline, a pickup of 5.
Yeah, you'll see Seth Green. They'll play him quite often at that Wildcat position. Doesn't mean he can't throw the football. He doesn't run it. He doesn't throw it very often, but you know, he's 6'4", 240 pounds. He's an awful good Wildcat quarterback, running back, fullback, whatever you want to call him.
Now they put Tanner Morgan back out there. You'll see Green a lot, especially as they get toward the end zone. Second 5. Ibrahim, not much space. Falls forward to about the 38. Pickup of 2. That brings up third down.
Big third down, and your defensive coaches talk about it all the time. It's going to be interesting because Illinois has been hurt in this situation. Big plays. You know, they don't play zero coverage, which means no free safety. They normally play, if they play man, they'll go with 1 free safety to try to prevent the home run. Let's see if they try to pressure or they play zone.
Could this also be 4-down territory? We'll see. Right now, 3rd and 3. Up the middle, they don't have to worry about 4-down territory. Ibrahim with a first down, but that was a run last week that once they got to the second level, Maryland went the distance.
Yeah, that's the big difference. And, you know, we talked to Lovey about it, and I guess if you want to say he was critical of the safeties. He said, you got a safety in there. He's got to get the back down. And you can see it right there. Tony Adams, who they have back now, that's a nice play for him.
.38 rushing yards already for Mohamed Ibrahim, the redshirt freshman. He'll get another crack at it. No! Keeping it. How about that? Morgan fooled everybody.
Yeah, awful good job of faking. I think most people thought the back had the ball, and you'll see it right in there. And here he comes. He comes back out the outside. It must have been a run-pass option. He pulled the ball. He looked like he was going to throw it. It wasn't there. He put it away smartly and ran for good yardage.
Offensive coordinator Kirk Shiraka said, look, he's not a running quarterback, but with Annexsted's ankle injury, he is more mobile than him. But right now, after that run, it will be Seth Green taking over for his second quarterback snap. And Green's going to keep. Takes Minnesota into the red zone with a 5-yard gain.
Well, people are going to say, okay, Seth Green, good job, but man, he was not even touched until he had the first down. Credit that offensive line, getting good movement, sustaining their blocks. Look at that seam on the inside. I'll tell you, if the young guy, Blaze Andrews, could have picked up that safety, it'd have been 6.
Minnesota 53 rush yards on this drive. Of course, Illinois' defense gave up 712 yards last week to Maryland, most they've given up this century. Morgan back out there with the option play. He opts to keep it, and he's tackled after a 4-yard pickup.
Well, here's going to come the speed option. He's going to option off the end man on the line of scrimmage. I think the reason why he kept it, he saw 2 guys out there. If there's only been one, I think he would have taken to the defensive end and pitched it.
Good job making Owen Carney miss. Long drive, 11th play. Trips to the right. Ibrahim between the tackles and down inside the 5. 1st and goal, Gophers.
Well, the Illini, they're finding themselves in unusual territory. They're in the red zone playing defense. You talked about all those points that Maryland scored last week. They didn't score any from the red zone.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They were all long plays, but this is a red zone touchdown for Minnesota and Mohamed Ibrahim. So we expected a lot of offense, and we are seeing good offense here early in the first quarter.
Well, it doesn't surprise me they're coming out running the football. The big threat for Minnesota, I think, is with their wide receivers, but P.J. Fleck said the other day, we must establish the run for our offense to be successful.
And they established it on that drive. 75 yards, 69 of them via the ground game. The only pass was that 6-yard completion to Tyler Johnson. And already 2 touchdowns, 1 by each side. And Dre Brown is going to elect to bring this out to the 25.
Yeah, the new rule instituted this year, you can give that fair catch signal, take the ball out to the 25 at no risk, and I think it's a good move.
Impact Players presented by Auto Owners Insurance.
Well, Reggie Corbin, we've already seen him. Mr. Big Play. 6 plays over 50 yards now. Tenard Davis, the wide receiver, the go-to guy. And look at these 2 guys. Blake Cashman, he's the tackle machine. Carter Coughlin, the sack machine. Both played for the same high school, Eden Prairie in Minnesota.
Very good Eden Prairie football program. And no surprise, this game, or drive I should say, starts on the ground as well. But it's Dre Brown instead of Reggie Corbin. We will see him. We'll see Rayvon Bonner as well. We will not see Mike Epstein. Epstein is out for a 2nd consecutive game with a right foot injury. Dre Brown breaks free. Are you kidding me? They had a 72-yard touchdown run by Reggie Corbin, and that one is 72 yards by Dre Brown.
Well, you know, I said he's the impact player. I just said he had 6 runs over 50 on the year. Make it 7.
So back-to-back 72-yard touchdown runs, one by Corbin, that one by Brown, and now their last 5 touchdowns, Coach, have been for 60 yards or more.
Yeah, it's one thing if Corbin takes it, but then you got Trey Brown in there doing it, and obviously it had to be some type of confusion on the defensive end.
Chase McLaughlin up and good. He is a perfect 68 of 68. It's the last one by Dre Brown.
Yeah, and we talked about Dre Brown, guy coming off 2 ACL injuries, and really remarkable player overcoming injuries like that.
Demetrius Douglas from the goal line. Out across the 20. You'll see what happens on this play right here. Coughlin slants underneath.
Jacob Huff scrapes outside, but there's no one in the inside hole, and that's why he's not touched. Dre Brown off to the races.
You mentioned those ACL tears. He missed 2015 and 2016. Dealt with turf toe in fall camp. They didn't even know if he was going to be ready for the opener, and he's been limited until that run right there. So does Minnesota have a counter? Try a little screen out to Rashad Bateman. Everybody rushed the backfield, coach. They all went for Bryce Williams, and that opened up a 12-yard pickup.
Yeah, they had good pressure on the quarterback, but that's going to happen. It's a screen. It's a fire screen to the outside. He did a good job of getting rid of the ball. He comes back toward the ball, and everybody else is going to block out, try and hit that seam. Tunnel screen, fire screen, jailbag screen. Everybody's got a different name for it, but they all run it.
Seth Green back in. Tanner Morgan is actually out wide to the right. Keeper, nothing there. Del'Shawn Phillips, one of your impact players, coming up to hold him for no gain.
Yeah, they faked the jet sweep, and then he kept the ball to the inside. But the reason you do that, the jet sweep tries to get the attention of the linebackers, but it didn't work here. You saw the linebacker stayed right at home and made the good play. Good fundamentals.
His team best 67th tackle of the season. Morgan back at cornerback. Ibrahim. And Illinois saying that they stripped the ball, went down the sideline with it, Sidney Brown, but Ibrahim was ruled down well before that.
Ruling on the field is forward progress. Third down.
The Illini lined up in a two-deep safety, cover two. You have two corners on the wideouts, which means that you're only going to have 7 guys up front, and that's why they're going to the run. There's no extra guy in the box. Credit the Illini, good run defense without overloading the box.
And they say it was forward progress that was stopped. That's why the play had already been whistled dead, even though the ball was ripped out before he went down to the ground. Timeout's going to be taken here by P.J. Fleck. So it's third down. Minnesota 2 for 2 on third down conversions on their opening drive. Movement. Illinois is pointing at Minnesota. And it will be a false start.
False start. Offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Left tackle Sam Schluter.
Yeah, Sam Schluter, you got to hang on in there, and that's tough to take. You see, he moves. They called a timeout, and then they get an illegal procedure.
One of the least penalized teams in the country. They're 11th with only 36 penalties this year, but that's a big one. Makes it 3rd and 10. Morgan escapes and throws it behind Demetrius Douglas.
Credit that defense. Pressure on the quarterback. They didn't get him down, but he's running for his life. Man, went right through my hands. I can't believe it.
Yeah, Jake Hansen's got to be saying, how did I not get one of my hands on that thing?
I get my eyes checked.
Pretty good Houdini act by Morgan just to get away from the pressure. Jacob Herbers with a punt. Fair catch, Jordan Holmes just inside the 30. Kind of a seesaw career for Reggie Corbin, but boy, is he excelling in 2018.
Yeah, I don't know what he did coming in this year, but it's something special. And big play runs. I tell you, right now, if I'm the line, I'm thinking maybe I'll come with a play action pass because those Gophers have to overplay the run.
Yeah, they got to watch out for number 2. Those numbers were before the game, so he's now over 800 yards, 812 this season. Most since 2010 for the Illini backs. He's going to add to that total here, so coach, they don't go play action. They Do, though, get 6 yards from Reggie Corbin.
Yeah, if I had a phrase to describe number 2 right there, I call him a jitterbug, and I mean that is positive. Man, he's got those quick little moves, and you think you're zeroing in on him to make the tackle, and he makes the first guy miss. He can make offensive linemen look real good. I can tell you that. Hard
to believe that was only their 5th play from scrimmage, and they already have 2 touchdowns. Now a pass, and that's complete to Stampley. The local hero from right here in Champaign.
Yeah, that's a nice throw, and he's wide open. He catches it in his hands, and
last week he had touchdowns of 61 and 84 yards, Stampley, and this play is blown up in the backfield. Carter Coughlin with his 13th tackle for a loss this season. Hey, let's check back downstairs with Elise Menaker.
Yeah, Brandon Lovey-Smith just had a quick talk with his defense, probably pretty pleased with their last outing, but his chats really have had to be quick in general because his defense hasn't been spending much time on the sideline with all of these explosive plays. And I even noticed that kicker, Chase McLaughlin, he's barely getting time to warm up before the extra point because these guys are just finding their way into the end zone.
That can be good or that can be bad. You know, you like those fast, quick strikes, and you put your defense back out there.
And errant pass that time for Bush. He just missed Stampley.
You want to score points, but the point being, if your defense is struggling, rather than get one of those quick straight offense, you like to see one of those 14-play, 8-minute drives while the defense is on the sideline.
Third down has been an issue, and now they've got a 3rd and 14.
I'd go with the draw or screen.
Corbin on the sideline. It's Dre Brown out there with Bush. Stampley in motion. Throwing it out to Stampley. And he swung out of bounds around the 42. So he's 6 yards shy of the line to gain. But you're in plus territory. Illinois got a decision to make.
Yeah, they got a decision. They caught him in man coverage. That's what they wanted him to do, but the ball got out late. If they could have got it earlier, you could see the man responsible for him was trailing him.
And 4th and 7 as Stampley goes frustrated to the sideline. And indeed, they will punt. Douglas, fair catch. 34-yard punt, no return.
Yeah, the Buckeyes squeak went out against the Cornhuskers, and once again, that Michigan State defense had to be something against Maryland.
Yeah, Maryland gets 712 yards and over 60 points last week, and this week 3 points. Minnesota last 2 possessions, touchdown, then the punt.
Illini getting lined up late.
Fakes the give and throws it out to Ottman Bell. Wrapped up and taken out by Quan Martin, the cornerback, after a gain of 7.
I'm impressed with the faking and the ball handling by Minnesota. The backs do a good job of selling it inside, and you see Tanner Morgan there. He really seats the ball, doing a good job faking.
That's going nowhere. It's going to bring up 3rd down. Harassed at the line. Several guys were there. Quan Martin helping out, but he had some friends with him.
In the open, pointed out that the Illini would play good on defense against Maryland last week, like you see them right now, and then all of a sudden, big play. They have got to prevent the big play.
And several of those big touchdowns for Maryland last week came on 3rd and short, just like this. Tanner Morgan cleans his hands, takes a snap, and throws it high, incomplete, no flags for interference, and Minnesota will punt. Good coverage by Jake Hansen.
I'm going to tell you what, next series come back that similar situation. You had Quan Martin, the defensive back, one-on-one out there with Bateman into the boundary. Good defense right there, though.
Douglas looked to the side saying, wait, didn't he hit me early before the ball came, but no flag. Jordan Holmes back deep. High short kick to right at midfield. 34-yard punt. Both teams claiming that they are among the youngest in college football, and they are. Let's look at Minnesota's game notes, how they phrase it. They say that 51.7% are freshmen, and then you look at the Illinois game notes, and they go the underclassmen route. They say they have the highest percentage of underclassmen, freshmen, and sophomore at almost 77%.
Well, you hear P.J. Flakey talks about all the time. I brought it up with the meeting, and the line, I said, oh, wait a minute. It depends how you look at it. So any way you look at it, we got the youngest football game in America today.
I think you're exactly right. And we've got a coach in P.J. Fleck, who's 37, and the 60-year-old Lovie Smith on the other sideline. Reggie Corbin. Man, he is fun to watch, isn't he?
Well, it all depends. If you're the defensive coordinator from Minnesota, no. But for us, absolutely. You see that move right in the hole? They had him dead to rights. Watch this. The jitterbug move. Ooh, look at that. I mean, you didn't even touch him.
Rod Smith put it very aptly. He said he'll make you miss in a phone booth. That's what he does. This time a throw, and a quick one going down to grab it. Completion by Ricky Smalling, the sophomore from Chicago.
You mentioned Rod Smith, the offensive coordinator, and they're mixing it up pretty good, run and pass. But when you look at the improvement of this Illini offense from last year to this year, he's the offensive coordinator this year. I asked him why. He said, you know what? These players totally bought into a new system. He gave them all the credit.
Last year, the OC, Garrick McGee. Now Smith in his first season. They need 2 yards. That'll do it. Into the red zone.
Now, for you Illini fans, Rod Smith, if he had his way, he would really go real fast tempo like you see him trying to do right now. As he told us, we're not quite there yet. Someday we will be.
After the Caleb Reams catch, they go back to the ground. Corbin dragged to the ground from behind. Chris Williamson, watch this tackle.
Yeah, man, you got to get him down. I hate to tell you, he doesn't get him down. That might be another big one.
Chris Williamson is not a guy who has seen a lot of time. Redshirt junior defensive back, but he made a nice play there. Back to Smalling. Quickly held up by Jordan Howden and also Blake Cashman after a gain of 3. That might take us to the end of the first quarter. 1 quarter play in the books, Fighting Illini with a 14-7 lead after 2 72-yard touchdown runs. And the ROTC earlier had a swearing-in ceremony here between the first and second drives for Illinois. Got to let the entire stadium, Memorial Stadium, listen in. 3rd and 10, and they throw the football incomplete. But they will have a field goal opportunity coming up.
Yeah, I look for them to either run it or take a quick shot like that. The worst thing you can do down here, now I'm sure Lovie Smith, told his quarterback that, hey, we've got a great shot at a field goal. We got a good field goal kicker. You can't take a loss.
And he didn't, just the incompletion. So that will mean Chase McLaughlin has a 36-yard field goal attempt. Was 4 for 4 last week at Maryland. And knocks that through no problem. Semi-finalist for the Lou Groza Award, won a 20 on that list. He is a good one.
You talked about knocking it through. We could hear the pounding of that ball way up here. Guys never mixed an extra point. I hope I don't jinx them.
17-7 tonight on BT. I want to tell you about some volleyball. Number 3 Gophers, they're out to show why they're one of the best teams in the nation when they host Michigan State. It's all powered by American Ethanol. It's 8 p.m. Eastern on BT, and you can also watch it on the Fox Sports app. Volleyball conference standings. How about all those ranked teams in the Big Ten?
You know what that tells you? Awful good conference.
Oh, yeah. From top to bottom.
Yeah. And when you're way down there at the bottom and you're trying to work your way up, you got a lot of hurdles in front of you.
And all those top 15 teams there that are ranked.
Perfect day for Big Ten football.
Boy, isn't it? Walking over today, you got the trees changing, sun peeking through the clouds, 60 degrees. Douglas. He's got some good speed, but he's upended shy of the 25. We discussed all the freshmen and all the youngsters on both sides of the football. Look at all these contributors. This is just on the offensive side of the ball for Minnesota.
Yeah, there's a reason why. I mean, every time you hear P.J. Fleck, the head coach, he said, hey, we're young, 33 guys. And, you know, you get to a certain point, though, you know, you're half the way through the year. You're not freshmen anymore, you know. It's no one's going to care about that. You got to go out and play.
Tanner Morgan was on that list, redshirt freshman.
Yeah, I guess, you know, you get people excited about the future, but they got to play right now.
Morgan keeps and got hit hard and taken to the ground. Jake Hansen pops up okay. And he said that to us earlier, and all coaches have said, look, we're going to play our best players right now. We're not worried about that 4-game redshirt rule.
Yeah, it's you know, let's face it, they're in a situation that they're trying to get to a bowl game. That's why today's game for the Gophers is so important to realistically keep that thought alive.
Hansen and Morgan collided helmets there on the tackle after the 5-yard gain. Now it's Seth Green back in at quarterback. Play clock at 1. Gets it off and keeps it. And has a big hole to pick up the first down and a little extra. Across the 40.
Yeah, I think he just cuts that back. They got an inverted line. I think he was trying to run that like an off-tackle power with the quarterback carrying the football, and nothing there. And he saw some daylight back to his right, so that's where he went.
Tanner Morgan split out once again. Between the two Minnesota quarterbacks, they have 37 rushing yards. Little pop in front to Rashad Bateman. That's a lot east and west and not a lot north and south.
Yeah, and that jet sweep, you need a lot of speed to do it, and you have to be able to attack that edge and be able to turn up north and south. To your point, a lot of running east and west, sideline to sideline, not much gain. This is a whole series with Seth Green in there.
They've used him more. They usually, as I said, use him down around the goal line. They've used him more back on their own side of the field today than normal. Mohamed Ibrahim tackled just shy of midfield. That'll bring up 3rd down.
I half chuckled when I asked P.J. Fleck. You know, I said you got Tanner Morgan. Zach Annixon's a little banged up, and I don't know if he could go or not. Seth Green's your Wildcat. I said, what happens if Tanner goes down and Seth Green goes down? What do? He says we punt.
Well, he mentioned Tyler Johnson's name as somebody he might put in there to run some Wildcat stuff. But it's still Seth Green on 3rd and 2. Green keeps and follows behind his back Ibrahim to get the first down.
Yeah, I would think he would be the perfect Wildcat back for that situation.
Was there an option to give it to Ibrahim there, or was that follow him the whole way?
Follow him the whole way.
Look at all the rushing yards already between the two teams. Of course, for Illinois, they had 2 72-yard touchdown runs. Ibrahim He almost broke one off. Tony Adams just got him down before he was able to try and get free.
Yeah, if you're Lovie Smith, you got him down. You said, but this isn't good enough. I mean, we got to squeeze that in. When you have somebody coming from all the way across the other side of the field to make the tackle, your point of attack defense isn't very good.
Seth Green is out at the bottom of your screen. It is Tanner Morgan at quarterback. So a lot of different formations and putting Morgan and Green in different spots so far in this game. Flag comes in.
If I'd guess, it's a hold.
As it stands right now, 4-yard gain.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Defense, number 93. The 15-yard penalty is added to the end of the run. First down.
And that's on Calvin Avery as D-tackle.
Yeah, you can see it right there. Yeah, you got caught, Calvin. Can't do it.
That was freshman on a freshman. Had the hands right in the mask of Blaze Andrews. Lovie Smith shakes his head.
He won't be shaking it once he sees the film.
We might be shaking it at Calvin Avery.
Yeah, it might be.
First penalty for Illinois. Bryce Williams, one of those freshmen we showed you, is in at running back. But this is a passing play. Did he stay in bounds? Yes. Tyler Johnson with a reception.
Well, number 6, Tyler Johnson. I mean, he has been a force in the Big Ten ever since he started playing. He runs outstanding routes. Every once in a while, he'll have a problem dropping a ball that he should catch. But, I mean, he's as good as they come. I think he's really dangerous on the inside routes, the slant route. I've not seen anybody stop him on that.
9-yard gain, so 2nd and 1. Seth Green back in at quarterback. Tanner Morgan split out to the right. Now this is prime Seth Green territory right here. Green keeps first down and almost a touchdown. He has 7 rushing touchdowns this season. He came a little short there.
Yeah, people looking at it, and they talk about the Wildcat. That's just a different way of spreading your offense and running an off-tackle power play. There's no read in there, no blocking. Everybody's going to block down. You're going to get a kick out, and you're going to take your big 240-pound Wildcat quarterback and get in the end zone.
You think he's carrying it here following Ibrahim?
If I was calling the play, would.
We'll see. No, he gives it. Ibrahim sneaks in. Touchdown, Minnesota. So both Gopher touchdowns have gone to the redshirt freshman from Olney, Maryland, Mohamed Ibrahim.
Now that was a zone read, because you see they didn't block the defensive end. He made the read and handed the ball off because the end was going to take big Seth Green. That's his responsibility.
What a half for Ibrahim. And the equalizer from Emmett Carpenter. Yeah, 2 72-yard touchdown runs for Illinois. One by Corbin, one by Brown. A little hesitation by Dre Brown, speaking of him. And he brings it out, and it turns out to be a good decision. Kind of slow played that and then returned it for 33 yards.
Yeah, he's in the end zone. He said, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. Should I? Okay, here I go. That's one of those when you're the head coach on the sideline, you're going, oh no, oh, okay.
Okay. All right, if you get it past the 25, we're good. So both he and Corbin in the backfield. This time, a little bit of a different look as they completed out to Stampley. So Bush kept it, and then ran and threw it on the run to Stampley for 7 yards.
Yeah, this is just the triple option by a different name. You take it out of the shotgun, you fake the dive, the quarterback comes out there, and rather than pitching the ball, you throw the ball out to the perimeter.
Here's the option the other way. And Corbin tries to cut it back inside. It's brought down right around the first down marker.
Yeah, you'll see it right here, and this is well defended because they have no one blocking the pitch. Easier said than done picking him up, and you see Kamal Martin, he misses the play, but credit him, he gets back off the ground and makes the play. Otherwise, it might have went around the back door.
They did give him the first down by about a foot. Play action. Bush wide open. There's a flag down, but for the moment, it's a big reception from Bush to Gray Brown.
Holding. Offense. Number 79. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Repeat first down.
So that penalty on Vidarian Lowe cancels the 31-yard reception.
Yeah, the big left tackle we talked about before, but you watch him right here. He's out there, he's standing up, you're a big guy, and he gets beat to the inside by Carter Coughlin, and I'm not sure he even touched him, but he got called on it.
I mean, he put his hand on his back, but he didn't appear like he held it.
I didn't see the jersey pull, but he got beat badly.
Another play action throw and a completion. And Ricky Smalling is off to the races. Gets by Jacob Huff and gets into the end zone for a 67-yard score. Coach, how about this? In the last 4 quarters for Illinois, 6 touchdowns, all of 60 yards or more.
Yeah, and not only that, but you talk about scoring drives that are a minute or less. I mean, it's crazy, and that's one of the things they had been doing well this year anyway. The number of scores they had on offense, quick strike offense, for a team that was struggling, really amazing.
The explosive plays continue. Some pretty good company for Illinois now. 15 scores this year in under a minute.
Yeah, coming into this game, Illinois, when you look at those other teams, they really don't fit into that. 13, they had 2 more today, and another one, it couldn't be much more than a minute.
Also see the ROTC dads getting into the act here on Dad's Day. Between the 2 teams today, we've had 4 touchdowns under a minute, so all that talk about which defense would show up, well, we're still waiting to see.
Yeah, kind of contrast, though, both defenses and offenses. You look at the Illini, they made them earn it, slow and making plays and driving the ball. And we already talked about the big plays against the Gopher defense. And then, for the offenses, it's the same thing. You look at the Illini, man, they're going for broke, and Minnesota's trying to have to 4 or 5 yard it to death.
Tanner Morgan gives to Ibrahim. PJ Flack earlier this week said, we don't know what we're going to see from the defense with Lovey calling the plays. Is it really that much different?
Well, I don't think so this late in the season, because I asked Lovey the same thing. He said, we're not changing defense. We're changing the guy that's calling the plays, though. So any tendencies that you might have as far as, when Hardy was calling the defense, you can throw those out the window.
He mentioned, Elise said earlier, he did want this defense to be more aggressive than they had been previously. Straight up the gut to the 31. That'll bring up 3rd and 4. Saturday, December 1st, champions of the East and the West are going to meet in Indianapolis. 2018 Big Ten Football Championship game presented by Discover. Saturday, December 1st, only on Fox.
Here comes the Wildcat again, no surprise.
Always interesting to see the sideline signage. Let's see what it brings up here as they listed it 3rd and 3 officially. And it's going to be Ibrahim, and he will be short. Kenyon Jackson, he led the charge defensively.
Tough decision for P.J. Fleck on this position on the field. He's thinking about it, but I bet he punts it. Smart move.
You're exactly right. The punting team is on the field, and P.J. Fleck trying to keep his troops motivated.
Now, when the Illini make a play like that on 3rd and short, big play. You get possession back of the ball.
And that's a prime example of a play defensively that they have been struggling with this season. Fair catch, Jordan Holmes.
I'm just not ready for football, Dan. That's what I'm not ready for.
The dads with the cheerleaders as Illinois takes back over on offense. And Spalding, who had the 67-yard touchdown catch, gets a smaller one of 8 yards there.
I'll tell you what I'm impressed, so far. A.J. Bush, his throwing ability, his quick release, getting it out of there. I really didn't see that on film when I was studying him. He looks a lot better than I anticipated.
Because Rivers is billed as the passer and Bush the runner. Corbin will be swallowed up to bring up 3rd down. Blake Cashman and Winston DeLatte-Baudaire with a tackle. Actually, that went back a yard, loss of 1.
Who's going to play better 3rd down defense? If you're Minnesota, you can't gamble too much, because if they go with the run and you're playing man defense and they break the line of scrimmage, you know what's going to happen.
Third down and 3, and they got the no, he dropped it. That is one that Reggie Corbin should have had coming out of the backfield, and he knows it.
Yeah, he knows it, and he made the cardinal mistake of, he knew he was going to catch the ball. He knew he had a lot of green grass in front of him. He took his eyes off the ball. See it right there? The head's going, because he's thinking, man, I'm going to take this thing and go the distance, but you got to look it in.
And with that drop, Illinois 0 for 3 on 3rd downs. Douglas gets away from this one and then takes it off the bounce. Oh, and then a late tackle, but that had been blown dead on the slant and go, the 67-yard touchdown pass to win it. And again, it's just Morgan's 2nd career start after the Zach Annexstad injury. He's had a couple of injuries, Annexstad, but Morgan has performed admirably in his stead. And Ibrahim with the carry. There is Zach Annexstad on the sideline, who started the first 7 games of the season. Stay tuned. Discover Halftime Report. Mike, Stanley, and Chuck, they'll be along from Chicago, getting you caught up on everything going on in the Big Ten today.
That last right by Ibrahim, one thing about it, you do not want him to turn north and south. He runs hard.
He's got 95 rushing yards, does Ibrahim. Morgan here, hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. In the vicinity of Johnson, but when he got hit, that ball went errant.
Look at it right here, and good clean hit. Stayed away from the head, wasn't late. I'm a little surprised. The Illini weren't very successful coming in this game, getting pressure on quarterbacks. There's been a number of times Morgan's take a hit.
That was the freshman safety, Sidney Brown. Green in at quarterback on 2nd and 10. Green keeps. Hit hard by Jake Hansen. And this is the most toggling we've seen to the quarterbacks this year for Minnesota, right?
Yeah, it really is. And the thing about it, typically we would see Seth Green put in there in those wildcat definite situations, but I don't know if they figure if they need to run, they don't want to put the ball in Tanner Morgan's hands, because we're really not sure about Zach Annexstad, how healthy he is.
Another third down opportunity for the Gophers. Watch the play clock. Just got it off at 1. Going deep. Johnson jumps. Who's got it? They say it is a catch by Tyler Johnson, a 31-yard pickup for a first down. But Delano Ware, he thought he had the interception.
Yeah, this is awful good coverage. They threw it deep, and we talked about Tyler Johnson. This is what everybody calls a 50-50 ball, and it sure looks like Tyler Johnson came down with it. Look how high he goes up. You got to fight for the ball. Rip it on out.
And it looks like the right call. Delano Ware turns 18 tomorrow. He was looking for an early birthday present. Talking about young pups, how about being on this field still being 17 years of age? And number 17, Seth Green with a keeper. Tyler Johnson, though, he's one of the best in the country, just going up and getting it.
Yeah, I've been singing his praises forever, and I was watching those wide receivers warm up, and that's what the coach was doing. He was throwing the ball, coaching the guys, go get it at its highest point, and that's exactly what that guy did at a Minneapolis North High School.
And now Minnesota has their right guard, Blaze Andries, down and being tended to. PJ Fleck out there as well. Let's take a look at this message from ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire and the official hiring partner of the Big Ten Conference.
Some job boards give you tons of the wrong resumes. That's not smart. Then there's smart. ZipRecruiter finds people with the right skills, education, and experience for your job and actively invites them to apply, so you get qualified candidates fast. That's why ZipRecruiter is rated #1 by employers in the U.S. ZipRecruiter, the official hiring partner of the Big Ten Conference. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/Big Ten.
So Blaze Andries getting checked out on the sideline. He was the #1 prospect in the state in the 2017 class, and now he's replaced by true freshman Curtis Dunlap.
Yeah, you know, we had talked to the coaching staff about Curtis Dunlap. Were they going to play him or try to save his redshirt year? And he's still got a couple games to play, but here he goes.
Yeah, you get 4. This is just the second game he's played in now as that ball is tipped at the line. Delshon Phillips came in and got a hand on it. Dunlap, another kid from IMG Academy, 6'5", 370-pounder.
Well, he's small compared to his teammate from down there. He's 6'9", 400.
Yeah, Daniel Falele at right tackle, but now you got Andries back on the field for this 3rd and 7.
I'd watch Tyler Johnson on the slant.
Morgan under pressure and sacked. Bobby Roundtree, Kenyon Jackson, both in there.
Yeah, you'll see it here. We talked about the pressure that he's under. They come with the blitz and try to chop him. They don't get it done, and they stay relentless and make the play at a field goal range.
Illinois' season offensively has been feast or famine, and more explosive plays in this game. 3 of over 60 yards. Now what do you do here? You've got only 1 timeout left.
Yeah, that's why how critical timeouts are. As good as the running game has been, if I had 2 timeouts, I think Minnesota might fall asleep on the run. I'd hit him with a run. 1 timeout, you can't do it.
So they're going to try and throw. Oh, my goodness, somehow he threw it up and it got intercepted. Just off his back foot.
A.J. Bush's pass intercepted by Coney Durr.
And A.J. Bush's pass is picked off by Coney Durr.
Yeah, that critical mistake. If you're in trouble, you're going to throw it away. You got to throw it away. He had no idea where this ball was going. Watch it right here. I mean, he's dead to rights, and I mean, he had about 5 white shirts that had their eyes on the ball and no blue shirts, and he knows it.
Head down for Bush, and Coney Durr gets his first career pick, the redshirt sophomore from Baton Rouge. And turnovers been an issue for Minnesota this year, but they get one back on that play. And now they've got an opportunity with 2 timeouts. Morgan stepping up and finding Bateman, and the ball's on the ground. And Illinois picks it up. Phillips. No way! Deshaun Phillips, a foot race. And Deshaun Phillips returns it for the touchdown. There is a flag at the 20-yard line on the near side. It's away from where the action was. It's on the other side of the field.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, sideline interference against Illinois. It's a 15-yard penalty that will be assessed on the kickoff. The touchdown is good.
Well, we have to go back and make sure, was this a completed catch before the fumble?
Yeah, it was such a bang play. I think that's
Previous
what
play is under further review. The ruling on the field was a touchdown.
I think that's what P.J. Fleck is arguing about, that it wasn't a catch, that it was an incompletion.
Yeah, there's a lot to review. Was it a catch? Was he down? Was the defender down? Phillips after he recovered it. That's also in play here. Let's see.
All right, well, he throws it. It's out there. It's a catch. It's a catch. It's a catch. Oh, I think it's a catch.
You think so?
I don't know.
I didn't know if he had it secure in his hands.
He took a couple steps.
Now let's watch Phillips. He was never down.
Yeah.
So a lot to look at. Let's get another peek.
All right. He catches it.
Ooh, I don't know.
I don't know either.
This is a great time to bring in Dick Honig. Dick, what do you think? Did he have it?
Well, the question is did he get it into a running position and become a runner with it? Did he complete that process that is necessary to be a completed pass? And boy, this is close. I think it go either way. Personally, I think he probably did put it away, and we would stay with the call on the field.
Just saw the end zone look, but I don't know that that's going to tell us anything different.
That's a tough one.
Yeah, Dick, it's just kind of one of those that's right there on the line. So it's one that if it was incomplete, you probably couldn't overturn it as well, right?
Absolutely. I think you hit it right on the head.
Well, Deshaun Phillips, when he picked it up initially, I thought his knee may have been down. It was not. He was up the whole time. So if it stands, it's a 58-yard return.
The question is, if it takes this long, it probably should stand.
And they're continuing to look at it. Deshaun Phillips, one of your impact players. That was quite an impact play. We'll see if it holds up.
Well, they got the cards out there writing things down.
Yeah, that usually means it's coming back,
That's
right?
what I think. Yeah, checking the time, checking the yard line.
Yep. That's exactly what they're doing. That was close, so that was bang bang. That's one of the tougher reviews we've seen this season. Yeah, let's look at it regular speed again, because this is what you're looking at if you're the referee.
It's close any way you look at it, I guess.
Dan Capron takes off his spectacles. Here we go.
After review, the receiver had never secured the ball. The pass is incomplete. It's Minnesota's ball. 2nd and 10 at the 49-yard line. Timer. Please reset the game clock to 35 seconds.
So the boos rained down at Memorial Stadium, and they put 35 seconds on the clock, and P.J. Fleck will have a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, well, sometime you like replay, sometime you don't.
Yeah, that's one if you're Illinois.
There is a 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Illinois for sideline interference. That penalty will be enforced, resulting in a first down.
Now that 15-yard penalty's a big factor.
Wow.
So all of a sudden it's 1st and 10. I mentioned 2nd and 10, but with that penalty, and Lovie Smith is angry.
Well, you know what that had to mean? Official ran into somebody on the sideline. It wasn't a warning because they ran into him, and then you automatically get the penalty.
So instead of Illinois possibly going up 31-14, now Minnesota 1st and 10 from the 36. Over the middle, that's caught. And Johnson down to the 11.
Well, I've been wondering when they would come to Tyler Johnson with that slant, and you just saw it.
Charge timeout, Minnesota.
Timeout, Minnesota. They have one left. Lovie Smith is thinking we're going to take a very comfortable lead into the lockers, and now Minnesota can make this a one-score game.
Yeah, and they got a lot of time left with the timeout, and they can work their whole offense. And the Illini crowd, they're in the game. They don't like it.
Yeah, they're still booing from that last overturn. Morgan keeps. And Morgan taken down right around the 10 by Bobby Roundtree. Timeout with 20 seconds left.
Which is critical. They had to use the timeout.
Conclusion of the half here coming up, and then stay tuned to discover halftime report from our Chicago studio whenever this crazy second quarter finishes.
College football at its finest.
Nothing better. So no timeouts left for Minnesota. Morgan with a clean pocket. Batted in the air and almost intercepted. Tony Adams, who missed the last 2 games with a hamstring injury, has had a pretty good first half.
Yeah, that's an excellent play. That's one of the things I talked to Lovie Smith about. What do you do on the slants? And he talked about, you know, those safeties, they've got to see it, and they've got to come downhill and get in front of the receiver. And that's exactly what Adams did.
Minnesota will also get the ball to start the third quarter. Got whistles here and a timeout by Illinois. Everybody's taking timeouts. We'll be back in a moment. Good news, nobody has any timeouts left, so we will be staying here for the final 15 seconds of this quarter.
Good news for who?
I want to see the action.
Not for Minnesota, I can say
the action.
16 seconds and it's third down.
Let's see what they do. Illini fans hoping for a stand. Watch Johnson. He's the man in motion. Morgan throws it for Johnson, but it's too far. So now you've got 11 seconds, but with 4th down, obviously, the field goal unit comes on.
You know, that was excellent defense again. The defensive back let Johnson get deep. That's okay because he's got his buddy, the end line down there. If the ball is underthrown where it can be caught, he's going to pick it off. I like that right there. That's well coached.
Now here's Emmett Carpenter, the redshirt senior, from 28 yards. 10th field goal he's made this season. That's a 10-point swing. Could have been the Del'Shawn Phillips return off the fumble for the touchdown for Illinois. Instead, Minnesota keeps it and they get 3.
Yeah, the whole result there, and you think about the replay, but let's not forget A.J. Bush. That was a bad play for him, and he knew it right away. You can't do those type of things. You're not in desperation mode. You got to come back and play again.
This week on an all-new journey, learn more about the fast friendship between Michigan's Chase Winovich and Shea Patterson. Plus, see how Reggie Corbin of Illinois has emerged as one of the Big Ten's best backs. All that, and we'll give you behind-the-scenes look at Northwestern and Notre Dame. It's The Journey, Tuesday at 11 p.m. Eastern. There is Reggie Corbin. Big first half for him. You mentioned the Bush interception. That sideline violation for 15 yards was also a big deal.
Yeah, I didn't see it, but when you get the penalty right away, that means that one of the officials trying to do his job, running down the sideline, ran into somebody on the sideline. You get the penalty immediately.
That gave Minnesota good field position. Well, do we have any fireworks left for the final 6 seconds? Dre Brown back deep to return it, and they're just going to squib it. And I think Minnesota might have recovered this. Yes, they did. Now, there's only 4 seconds. You don't have any timeouts, and you're right around your own 45. But
yeah, but you got a chance. You got to play.
So we do have more fireworks.
Watch it right here.
Julian Huff returning it. And recovering it, I should say.
Now the coaching.
Take a heave?
Yeah, well, why not? I mean, I would think.
First and 10 for Minnesota.
Coaching point for the Illini. Get back. They are. They're standing on the goal line. A lot of times you see a team, they'll just run the ball now and gain up a lot of yards.
How big is the arm of the freshman Tanner Morgan?
Not big enough.
Not going to be big enough. Tyler Johnson trying to make a diving catch, incomplete, and that is how a very entertaining first half comes to a close. They're still booing over that call where Illinois thought they had a touchdown return by Del'Shawn Phillips. That's not the case, and Minnesota gets a field goal to get within 7. And the Gophers will get the ball to start the third quarter. It has been mainly the ground game, although A.J. Bush did have that long touchdown pass to Smalling.
Yeah, you know, the statistics can be very misleading in a game like this. They didn't put my favorite of possession time because it's out of whack. But, you know, to me, the big indicator there, and Levy talked about it, that turnover was critical and didn't have to happen.
Yeah, that was the bad pass by A.J. Bush. Gave the ball back to Minnesota late, and now they receive here. Douglas down to a knee.
You know, we talked about the wind in this game, or the breeze, strong breeze, and I get the feeling it's picking up a little bit right now.
Well, you saw the option to not kick a long 52-yard field goal for Minnesota's. Big American flag flying on Military Appreciation Day. Notoriously, this is a stadium that is known for wind.
Well, I coached here, and I coached for Illinois, and I coached against Illinois a number of times in this stadium. You got no idea.
Yeah, people will always tell you this is the windiest stadium in the conference. Throw out to the left to Rashad Bateman. Was there a face mask there by Phillips? They say no, but there's also no gain on the play.
Yeah, there's that tunnel screen, fire screen, and really a good play there for no gain.
There might have been a face mask.
Yeah, I think he got away with one. Good call there.
Yeah, Del'Shawn Phillips clearly. But instead it's 2nd and 10. Another throw. Illinois' defense, they do look better, don't they?
Oh, they look like they know what they're doing. They're not hesitant at all. You see they're all over, and they're playing tight coverage. And I mentioned, you know, this wide receiver group for Minnesota is talented. So and they've got a deep threat. They've already been burned once deep. Playing with a lot of confidence.
Of course, PJ Fleck's headliner out wide is Tyler Johnson. But they've been able to tamp him down, relatively speaking. 3rd and 5.
Bateman's good. Altman-Bell's good.
Yeah, those are the big 3, and Demetrius Douglas has been coming on the last couple of games as well.
Unbalanced formation.
They try to get it to Johnson, and he's tackled immediately. Nate Hobbs coming up to make a nice play. A loss of 3.
I'd be thinking, does Levy got my signals or what here?
Yeah, they weren't fooling anybody here.
Wow.
And also unfortunate for Minnesota after this, on the other side of the field, Mohamed Ibrahim is still down.
The anticipation by Nate Hobbs, spectacular there. We already talked about the number of running backs that have been injured. He looks like he's okay, but one thing about running backs, it's hard for those guys. If they have anything wrong with them in the lower half of their body, it's hard to play.
Did not play last week against Indiana. Nursed back to health this week. They just got Chip there going around the corner. And now Herbers will punt. It'll be interesting to see if Ibrahim comes back out for the next drive. If he can't, you know, you're without Brooks and Ibrahim, they'll have to turn to Bryce Williams. But the focus shifts to the Illini offense after a 42-yard punt.
And let's see if they try to gear that run up again.
Well, the first quarter, 8 rushes, 161 yards, 2 touchdowns for Illinois. Second quarter, just 3 rushes, 13 yards. You talked about the time of possession, under 9 minutes, and they still lead the game. They do try to gear it up with Corbin. Slip through. Decent pickup.
Yeah, that is the right way to describe it. Slip through, because there wasn't anything there, and he's got the ability to stop on a dime and then get it going again.
Seven-yard gain, and this one is just a straight run for Bush. But Minnesota's defense was there, leading the way. Carter Coughlin, one of the boys from Eden Prairie, Minnesota.
Yeah, there was nowhere for him to go, and we've seen this play out of Minnesota with Seth Green playing. That's a quarterback called run the whole way, with the running back being the lead blocker.
Coughlin now 14 tackles for a loss this season. His fellow Eden Prairie buddy Blake Cashman has 12 of them.
Well, he lines up. He's a converted linebacker, lines up as a defensive end, and he is always in a pass rush mode. You better know where he is in a passing situation.
3rd and 5. Bush escapes. He's going to take off and get it. Good recognition by the senior from Alpharetta, Georgia.
Yeah, and Coughlin beat his guy badly, but he missed the sack. Watch it right here. I mean, you're not going to see it. He's already taken off and running. Good ball protection, high and tight.
15 yards, and that's that added dimension that he has over MJ Rivers. Throwing deep. Incomplete, intended for Dominic Stampley. Coney Durr was there disrupting, and he's a little slow to get up. Or no, that's not Coney Durr, that's Chris Williamson.
Well, you see it right here. They go with the play action. They're going to go for it all, and well defended.
Yeah, Williamson seeing a lot of increased time here in this ball game.
I like Williams. He's running stride for stride, looking back for the ball.
2nd and 10, quarterback draw. And a big hole there for Bush. 30, 20, 10 down around the 5-yard line. Well designed, well executed.
Yeah, the Red Sea opened up right in front of him. Right call at the right time, and he beats Jacob Huff. Safety missing a tackle. There's a big guy running the football, long strider.
So 1st and goal, he keeps again, and he fumbled it. Illinois is saying they recovered, and they do. Watch the ball come out here.
Yeah, he keeps it. It was a zone read, and then he realized, I think he made the wrong decision. He went back inside, and the ball is definitely out.
Good job by Kendrick Green, number 55, to hop right on it for Illinois. Illinois now has 3 players that have had a 40-yard rush in this game. Corbin, Brown, and the quarterback A.J. Bush. He's still breathing heavy. Play clock at 2. They say he got it off. He keeps and he scores. Touchdown, A.J. Bush. So they do return to the ground game. It's the quarterback that really hurt Minnesota.
Yeah, and the thing they got here in the red zone, and one of the things that Rod Smith, the coordinator, talked to us about is that we get in the red zone, heck with those field goals. We got to score touchdowns.
able to there. A.J. Bush, 62 rush yards on that drive alone. Ooh, the PAT is good, not by much. Almost was the first miss of McLaughlin's career.
I think I jinxed.
You asked for Illinois to return to the running game, and they did that last drive.
Boy, they sure did, and it wasn't only me. You heard Elise talking about Lovey. He said, we got to get back to the run game. There's something there, and they went a little different. Now, if you're Minnesota, you got to worry about not only the running back, but you got to worry about the quarterback.
Yeah, 6 runs. Last 5 of them were by the quarterback Bush, including the touchdown run. Let's go to Chicago and Rick Pizzo for a studio update. The Boilers will have Minnesota next week on the road.
Yeah. For Purdue, that Hawkinson, that tight end, he's tough to defend.
Boy, is he ever. Between he and Fan.
Blitz.
Morgan keeping, and he's taken down. It was Bryce Williams in the backfield as the tailback is where made the stop there.
Well, Lovey went with the blitz, and you see him come right off the inside receiver. Perfectly timed. No way the quarterback could have seen it coming. Dead play.
Delano Ware mentioned he turns 18 tomorrow on November 4th, born in the year 2000. Whew. Young buck. Seth Green in at quarterback. And good sign as Ibrahim is back as the lead blocker there for Green as he gets it to the 30 and he fumbled it. Illinois says they have it. They do. Recovering it, Kenyon Jackson.
Got an injury.
Another look.
Officials timeout for an injured player.
And that ball was out.
And Seth Green is the one down who fumbled it.
We got twisted around awkwardly here. We'll see that right foot. And PJ Fleck, whose lead mantra is the ball is the program. Seth Green had that ankle turn, walking over in the medical tent. That's an injury, obviously. Minnesota, everything right now they need it on offense because they've had some injuries.
Boy, they've had a boatload in. A lot of teams have had a lot of injuries this year. It's a rough season, but what do you do after you get a turnover both sides of the ball? You got to get points out of this, and defensively, you got sudden change defense.
See if they take a shot. You always say this is a good place to do it. Underneath, wide open, Daniel Barker, 10-5, touchdown! The freshman tight end gets in for the score from 30 yards out.
Well, if I'm the head coach, I'm running down the sideline and I'm yelling to Rod Smith, what a great call. Right call, exactly the right time, and all the momentum's with the Illini.
2 touchdowns in 58 seconds for Illinois. And how about this, Coach? Daniel Barker, that's his 9th catch of the season. It's the first reception he's had from A.J. Bush. The other 8 had come from M.J. Rivers. The extra point is up and good by McLaughlin. I think that they did.
Yeah, look at that. So fired up.
So with those big plays, we continue to see a theme of time of possession. Illinois only had the ball for 12 minutes and 7 seconds, and they have 38 points in this game. Douglas on the return. A flag is coming in around the 40-yard line. So we'll see what that's about.
Well, time of possession is important unless you're scoring points. You know, take points over time possession anytime.
Absolutely. But 38 points in 12 minutes of time of possession, that's something. Good game for A.J. Bush.
During the return, holding, receiving team, number 20, 10-yard penalty, first down Minnesota.
A penalty for Minnesota came in 11th fewest penalties in the country. A.J. Bush, though, 2 touchdown passes, the touchdown run as well. And the Illini enjoying a 38-17 lead. Ibrahim, who went out momentarily with the injury, is back out there.
What happens so often with defenses is if you start playing well, and by their standards, they're playing well this game, the longer the game goes, the more confidence you have. And playing defensive football and confidence go hand in hand.
Well, a lot of the guys on the defense spoke up this week about, hey, we loved Hardy Nickerson. That's tough to see him go. Recruited a lot of the guys on the defensive side of the ball, obviously. Del'Shawn Phillips said he was heartbroken by the news this week. And look at this defense rally again, but the flag coming in, that's going to be a face mask. Calvin Avery knows it.
They brought the blitz off the inside receiver again, plus Avery, and quarterback had no chance.
Personal foul, face mask. Defense number 93, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
That's the second big penalty on Avery. You can see right there, that was a no-hitter that was thrown there by Connor Olson. And he got him dead to rights.
And you said it, Coach, that's his second personal foul in this game. There's the penalty story. So instead of being way behind the chains, it's a 1st and 10. Bryce Williams hasn't had a whole lot of action today behind Ibrahim, but he gets the carry there for 6.
Good run there, well blocked. Hopefully get points, but you got to get something going.
Off the play fake, Morgan steps up, taken down. Let's go back to Chicago. Here's Rick Pizzo. Thank you, Rick. So a loss of 1, 3rd and 5.
Yeah, you know, the Illini only had 12 sacks in this coming into this game, and man, they've been all over this quarterback.
It's an inspired defense. Screen left side, and that will be enough. Chris Hartman-Bell picks it up.
We've seen that play a number of times today, and that's by far the best that it's worked, but it was effective, moves the change, first down.
10-yard pickup for the redshirt freshman from Kankakee, Illinois.
The effective way to stop that play is with defensive linemen. When they see it, they got to turn and run to the sideline.
Fakes a give to Ibrahim and throws it incomplete in the direction of Rashad Bateman.
Well, he throws the fastball, a little wobbly. Hit your hands. You know what they always say, hit your hands, you got to catch it.
PJ Fleck putting back in Seth Green. He is down to the bottom of the screen. It's Morgan at quarterback, but Green went out with the ankle injury. He's on the field here, so that's noteworthy for Minnesota. And the throw is through the hands of Tyler Johnson. You mentioned earlier drops have been a problem for him. 3rd and 10.
Yeah, you see him. He's an outstanding receiver. It's not just this game. I've heard P.J. Fleck talk about it, and I've seen some other games where you think a great wide receiver, man, you got to catch that.
He has 5 receptions for 68 yards, and he's coming off 4 consecutive 100-yard games as Tyler Johnson. He's the first Gopher to do that since Eric Decker back in 2008.
Too high safety. Look like they're going to play coverage. And that's what they're doing.
Pressure. And incomplete behind Bateman.
Well, they played coverage, and Tanner Morgan was still under pressure. When you throw the ball, when you're still going backwards, you're lucky if something bad doesn't happen. I mean, they're getting to him. They got him on the run, and you can see he's just floating that out there. And it could have been a completion. It still wouldn't have been the first down, but they're lucky it didn't go off his hands and start going the other way.
Bobby Roundtree, number 97, has been the best at getting in the backfield for the Illini, and he did it again there. Fair catch at the 11. Illinois gets the ball back up 21 after a 42-yard climb. See the basketball arena, State Farm here in Champaign. They had an exhibition game there last night. Got the victory over Illinois Wesleyan. All right, Coach, well, let's see if that Minnesota defense can stand taller here. Reggie Corbin made a lot of noise early. He's been a little quieter as of late.
I'm telling you, you don't get nervous if you're a defensive coach when you see number 2 get the ball and he's starting around the corner.
Corbin 106 yards on just 7 carries. Now, he had the big 72-yard touchdown earlier.
Upper Marlboro, Maryland. A lot of good players out of that Maryland area.
Pressure starting to come, so Bush flips it out to Corbin. Corbin getting involved in the receiving game, but he's short of the line to gain, and it brings up 3rd down.
Are we talking about a critical stop needed here by the Golden Gophers? You see Thomas Barber, number 41, straining to get out there, but that's a mismatch, him trying to run and trying to catch Corbin.
This is indeed a big 3rd down, though. It's a full yard for Illinois. Quick pass to Davis, and the first reception for Trinard. Davis gets the 1st down.
Well, obviously, when you go to a play like that, Rod Smith, the offensive coordinator, has a lot of confidence in A.J. Bush's accuracy in throwing the football.
And finally getting Davis involved. He had a season-high 6 receptions last week against Maryland. Corbin, look out! Look out! Reggie Corbin! With Bush leading the way!
Get out of the way, Bush!
Touchdown, Illinois! 77 yards! And stop me if you've heard this before. It's another long touchdown run for the Fighting Illini.
Well, watch Corbin. I told you. Look at him. I mean, if you're a safety, that's a nightmare. Come on there, A.J. Bush. Get out of the way. The worst thing you can have is you can fall down and I'm going to trip over you. Other than that, the only thing that's going to stop me is the goalpost.
So we've had 3 long touchdown runs, 2 of 72 yards, and that one of 77 for Illinois. So think about Reggie Corbin's last 4 weeks. After this touchdown run, he now has a 69-yarder, an 80-yarder, a 72, and a 77 in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, and you saw what he did to Jacob Hubb, number 2 there, and he's not a young guy. I mean, he's a senior that's played a lot of football, a lot of good football for Minnesota. He had no chance there.
And Lovie Smith says, I am glad you're on my team.
Now, you know what he's saying? This is fun. This is fun, man. I've been there, too. And other times you say, this is not so much fun. It's fun today for Lovie. Rod Smith.
Updated scoring plays. Stay tuned, because that's subject to change. 21 points in 6 minutes for Illinois.
I told you they needed to get back to the run, didn't I?
Boy, and it has been effective, effective, effective. That was their longest drive of the game, 89 yards. I don't think there's any doubt that this is Illinois' most complete performance of the season.
That might be the understatement of the year.
Thanks.
Huh? I mean, you look what they're doing offensively. The improvement by the offense is overshadowing the improvement by the defense.
The flag is down here. We'll see what that's about.
Offside. Kicking team number 21. That penalty will be enforced 5 yards from the succeeding spot. First down.
Rod Smith, he's hitting Twitter saying, hey, you guys watching how my offense is performing?
Yeah, now, you know, Rod Smith, now he's been around. This is not his first rodeo. You know, he was at West Virginia with Rich Rodriguez, great success there. They went to Michigan, not so much success, but it wasn't because of offense. They really had problems in defense. Then they were in Arizona, and we sat down and talked to him. He was a joy to visit with.
Boy, he was. Very open, honest, easy to talk to. And he's seeing his team have 45 points in less than 14 minutes of time of possession. Bryce Williams, 5-yard gain. You mentioned it, though. That Illinois defense, another hat tip to them, because that wasn't easy to lose Hardy Nickerson mid-season.
No, it wasn't. Again, when I was evaluating them, I saw they would play good, and then give up big plays. And what they've been able to do is consistently play, and so far, not give up the big play.
Yeah, those runs have gone to the second level, have been stopped there rather than going the distance like they did last week against Maryland. Williams again, it'll be 3rd and a yard. And if you're Lovie Smith, Hardy Nickerson is a guy that you've known since 1996. So that had to be difficult.
Yeah, it had to be difficult. And I don't know the whole story. It came out that, you know, Hardy decided to retire, and he might have some health issues, whatever it may be. But still, you know, when you're that close to a guy and it's not working out, you know, for your team, for your defense, for your coordinator, it's a tough situation.
A drop on the snap. And Minnesota's offense continues to struggle after its hot start way back in the first quarter. P.J. Fleck, a look of disbelief.
Yeah, they look discombobulated right now.
4th and 3. Do you go for it here? He brings out the punting unit.
Well, you know, yeah, I think he has to. I mean, at this point in the game, he's still got a long way to go. He gets stopped here. There's probably going to be another score on the board. And better get off the field. There you go.
Another punt by Herbers. He's been a busy man. That hit off Illinois. Did Minnesota recover it?
Yes.
Yes. What a break. It hit off the leg of Quan Martin.
That's such a tough situation when the punt doesn't go good and you're a defender down there trying to do your job and you don't even see the ball coming.
But was he out of bounds when he recovered that?
I don't know that from that look.
The ruling on the field is that the punt hit a member of the receiving team and was recovered by the kicking team. First down.
Wonder if we're going to get another look at this. So it hits off the leg of Martin.
Oh, I don't know if he's in bounds.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he was in bounds when he definitely recovered it. Let's see this view. Definitely hit off the Illinois player.
That ruling on the field is under further review.
His head hit the, you know, any part of your body hits out of bounds before you recover the ball, you're out of bounds.
They're going to take another look at it. One more look. See, his left knee was down, it appeared. And all right, Dick Honig, you're geared up in the studio. What are you seeing?
I've got his left shoulder down in bounds. I think this is a good recovery.
Right there. I think you're right, Dick. I think you're exactly right. You can see the green in between the jersey. Yep, watch.
Yeah, if you watch his shoulder right in that area right there.
And the left knee.
You can see it right there. And I think, and his knee's down, I think it's a good call. Didn't I tell you that Honig is good?
After review, the ruling on the field stands as called. First down.
Well, they booed the reverse in the first half, and they will boo this as well. This is not the reverse. It will stay with Minnesota.
You know, let me go back to Quan Martin, the player he hit off of. And how could that? He has no idea. He's trying to hold up the gunner on the outside, and it's a poor kick. He doesn't know where the ball is. It hits behind him, takes a crazy bounce, and hits his leg. Just a funny bounce of the football.
So Minnesota, all of a sudden with a shot in the arm when they had nothing going their way.
We got unbalanced formation again.
Bryce Williams out of the backfield. And a quick tackle is made that time. Good job by Ron Harge.
Yeah, they lined up in an imbalance, and they tried to slip Bryce Williams out to the weak side, which they did, but Illinois was all over it.
712 yards for Maryland last week. What an improvement today. Also gave up over 60 points last week in that defeat in College Park. There's Tanner Morgan split out wide, so Seth Green in. They're still letting the boos rain down from that last call. Green tried the follow play, pushing the pile forward. Well, that was impressive just to get 4 yards.
He's a big, strong guy.
You said it earlier, 6'4", 240. He's tough to take down.
Well, obviously when he was laying on the ground before, he wasn't too hurt. Well, you see right there, I mean, he gets a good hit there, and they're wrapping him up, and now they're trying to rip the ball out, and in the process of the ripping the ball out, they're not getting him down.
Big Jared Weiler, 62, the center, was helping shove the pile forward.
Big third down.
Morgan up the middle, and he lost it. No signal.
Illini.
Yep, Illinois football. Jake Hansen. So Minnesota got a break, and then they gave the football right back a few plays later.
Coach Fleck is out there protesting.
Hansen stripped it and recovered it.
It's out. DJ's pleading for a replay.
Minnesota's second lost fumble this quarter. They've had one by both quarterbacks, Tanner Morgan and Seth Green. Well, Jake Hansen, what a linebacker, just a sophomore for Lovie Smith.
Charge timeout, Minnesota. They're first. It'll be a 30-second timeout.
So a 30-second timeout with 34 seconds left in the third.
One thing about
correction,
a game.
Minnesota has called a timeout for the purpose of challenging the ruling on the field of a fumble recovered by the defense.
One thing when you do a Minnesota game, it's real easy to find the head coach with that yellow sweatshirt he's got
plus
on.
He's sprinting up and down the sideline, but PJ Fleck wants this to be reviewed. Now, it looked like it was a clear fumble and recovery by Hansen.
All right, let's watch it.
Oh, that's out.
It's coming out.
There's no question.
Yeah.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed. First down, Illinois.
So a quick review, but PJ Fleck thinking right now he just needed anything.
Yeah, I mean, what has he got to lose? He's thinking, you know, we got the ball in scoring situation. We've got to score. Probably got to go with an onside kick. Fumbles the ball. Why not take a shot?
It has not been Minnesota's day. Coming off that win last week against Indiana. And really feeling like they needed this to get that 5th win for their bowl hopes.
Now you don't want to go conservative. At the same time, if you're Rod Smith, if you're Lovey, so you're thinking the only way Minnesota's going to get back in this is if we make a mistake and have some turnovers.
Might be Reggie Corbin time. He'll get the carry. Oh, boy, just getting him by the ankles was Carter Coughlin.
Oh, man. You talk about a touchdown saving tackle from a long way from the goal line. Look at that hole right there. Man, there's a lot of green. I don't know what they're doing defensively, but it ain't working.
That'll take us to the end of the quarter. Reggie Corbin, 193 yards rushing. A.J. Bush is doing his thing. Dominating performance by Illinois. See the rush yards, 337. Time of possession, 14:27.
You bring that time of possession up one more time.
My goodness.
I'm going to have a little issue with you. I'm going to tell you.
Well, that's okay.
It's meaningless.
I'm used to that. No, my point is it's impressive, all the long plays that they've had.
Yeah, the long plays are more impressive.
You know what? You're walking home after this. That's it.
I deserve it.
A.J. Bush with a keeper. He's had 193 yards throwing it, and now he's getting a first down as we bring Elise in for more on the talented tailback Reggie Corbin.
Yeah, and you know, it's Dad's Day here at this game, and I've talked to Corbin about his dad, and he said he's amazing. He's the best dad in the world, and he's been a big part of his life because his mom passed away when he was just 12 years old. So today he's not just playing for his dad, but you know, he's thinking of his mom too.
And Elise, we were in College Park last week when he had the homecoming. He's from the Maryland area. That was a very emotional game for him. And he had 155 yards, which was a then career high, and he's topped that today. And now a pass to the outside to Dominic Stampley. Shoved out of bounds, but no flag.
One thing I'll say about this Illini crowd, they don't like the officials. They wanted a late hit out of bounds there. I don't think it was even close. But they're involved. He's got to get him out of bounds. It's not. Yeah, it's. He didn't flip him down. Or that's a good tackle. Come on now.
Good tackle by Jordan. Now it's like back when you played, you didn't like the officials. Now you love them, right?
When I coached.
Well, you played too.
Yeah, but I didn't worry about that.
Pass out here to Stampley. So Stampley continuing to see a lot of action. He's got a first down. We go to Chicago. Here's Rick Pizzo. Wow.
Well, I've been saying it for a while. When I've not had Michigan in person, when I've watched them on film, that defense is awesome.
Another example of how today. Look out, Reggie Corbin. Reggie Corbin. Ooh. Turf monster got him as he tried to cut back. He's just having fun out there. He's over 200 yards now.
We have a lot of great running backs in this league. A lot of them with different style. This young man has a unique style. Watch him. I mean, how do you run full speed like that and stop and go the other way? I mean, he's not the biggest guy, but he plays big. Look at him. Man, love him.
Listed at 200 pounds, 5'10", and 13 rushes, 213 yards. As he continues to have a career best day. A.J. Bush, nice spin move. Only thing for the quarterback, you got to be careful. Your other quarterback, M.J. Rivers, dinged up. They don't want to lose Bush.
You know, I think the former great linebacker for Illinois, Jay Lehman, may be in-house, you know, and he's got to be happy the way the Illini defense and the Illini are playing today. He's a proud alum.
BTN colleague. Saw him on a local commercial this morning as well.
What was he peddling?
Cars or mattresses, furniture, I don't remember what it was. Pistol formation here. Dre Brown.
I coached against Jay in this stadium a number of times. In fact, I saw one of my former great offensive lineman, Ryan Melander. He's here watching the Gophers play, but he came out of Cretin-Durham High School, and I had to convince him to come to Minnesota rather than go to Colorado. Local kid going to Colorado. I asked him, do you know how to ski? He says, no. I said, why would you go to Colorado? Turned him around. He came in, became an all Big Ten offensive lineman, and just a great human being.
That's why you're a good recruiter. You knew all the sales pitches. 3rd and 2 for Illinois. Bush trying to take off, and he'll be stopped dead in his tracks right around the 30. They've got a great field goal kicker in Chase McLaughlin.
Yeah.
He has hit 4 from over 50 yards this year. Now, to put that into perspective, all the other Big Ten kickers combined have hit 4 over 50.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if I was in this situation right here, right now. I wouldn't have gone for it just because I don't want to get a chance of a blocked field goal going the other way.
This just inside of 50 at 48. You know he's going to have the leg, and he's got the accuracy as well.
Like I said, I'd have kicked the field goal without even thinking about it.
48. CFP rankings that came out last week, and see the Big Ten teams at the bottom. Iowa and Purdue right now in a good one.
Yeah, I would have to think that Penn State sitting at number 14. You're in a world of hurt right now going against that defense, trailing 28-0, and it's a barn burner. Iowa at Purdue.
And then how about Northwestern Notre Dame tonight?
Yeah.
Could be interesting.
Last time they played, remember what happened?
That went into the end zone for a touchback. Illinois up 48-17. I don't know that anybody saw this coming on both sides of the football.
Well, no, I don't think anybody saw it coming. If the Illini didn't shore up their defense, there was going to be no game, and Minnesota was the favorite coming in here and coming off a emotional win against Indiana last week, and Bull Holtz alive and well. No, they didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming.
So Zach Annexted still over there on the sideline. Tanner Morgan making his second start. Play clock is hitting zeros, and they didn't get it off. They took so long to get on the field, but they do call the timeout right before the
expiration
flag.
of the play clock. Charge.
Tonight on BTN, the number 3 Gophers are out to show why they're one of the best volleyball teams in the nation when they host Michigan State. Don't miss Big Ten volleyball powered by American Ethanol tonight at 8 Eastern right here on BTN and the Fox Sports app. And Alexis Hart with the big kill against Nebraska. Minnesota playing big, undefeated in conference play right now.
And Elise, I'm sure that you'll be ready to recap that next week on the Women's Sports Report on BTN.
Wednesday, you know, Brandon.
Minnesota taking over with the run. And Bryce Williams getting the carry out to the 35.
I might add, Elise does an outstanding job on that report.
Yes, she does.
I'm right there in person, live audience, cheering her on.
Yeah, because you're in studio those days as well.
Great job.
I appreciate it, Glenn. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
I'm on my couch watching.
I'm sure you are, Brandon.
2nd and 1. And it will be once again Williams. He's got the first down. Illinois right now, though, most points in a conference game since 2015 against the Missouri Tigers. But the football Illini looking good, up 48-17. The injured player was Kenyon Jackson. He went off for Illinois. And now the next play, completion to Rashad Bateman. And Rashad Bateman inside the 10 and into the end zone for the Golden Gophers. A 61-yard connection from Tanner Morgan.
Well, that's the play they so effectively run week in and week out. That slant route, hard to stop, but that's when I was talking to Lovie Smith, and he said hard to stop, but it shouldn't go the distance. You should be able to bring the safety down, or if it's not a run-pass option, the linebacker coming from underneath, but you saw what happened. Normally it's to Tyler Johnson, but they got a lot of good receivers.
Highlighted it earlier, Bateman had the 67-yard touchdown to beat Indiana. That one for 61. Another look.
Yeah, well, it's the run-pass option. He hits the slant, and you can see the safety right there. He started going up, and then he got his feet all tangled up, and he didn't have a chance. He's got to see it. He's got to stay square. He's got to break downhill and make the tackle. Lovey will not be happy with that.
Let's go back to Chicago and Rick Pizzo. Oh, a good one in West Lafayette.
Wow. Yeah, you got to. I look at that game, and you got potential high-powered offense out of Purdue, and we know all about the Hawkeye defense, and tough as they come. And
might they try an onside kick here, Coach?
Well, if you're Illinois, you got to assume they are. And if Minnesota, if you want to have a chance to do anything, you're down 48-24 and 9.5 minutes to go. You got to get the ball back. You got to figure that Illini will run the ball and at least use up some clock.
Evan Carpenter boots it away. Before that last touchdown catch of over 60 yards, Minnesota had 53 yards the entire half.
Yeah, I'm really surprised they didn't go with the onside kick. And I say that because kicking it deep, okay, well then you're saying, well, I'm going to have a lot of confidence in my defense. Why? They haven't stopped them all day. Surprised.
See the improvement from 2017 to 2018. We talked about Rod Smith and what he's been able to do. Trending in the right direction on that side of the ball.
Yeah, you know, he's got a belief, he's got a system, and he talked openly about it's not him, it's the players, and they like the system, they learned it. He put his system in, he didn't learn what they were doing. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That offense was broke.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Another one.
Yeah.
All right, you know.
Saw Minnesota have to burn a timeout in the same situation earlier. Before the drive even starts, they're behind the sticks. 1st and 15. A.J. Bush still in at quarterback. Dre Brown around the edge and across the 30.
Man.
So A.J. Bush getting the start because M.J. Rivers had the concussion last week. There's M.J. Rivers. He is dressed. Not sure if he's available, but on the sidelines today.
Well, Dre Brown, you saw it right there again. He's got some quicks too, and perfectly honest, he's better than I thought he was. I mean, I knew he was a good football player, but you know, to have the ability where there's not much there and still gain up 5 or plus yards, impressive.
He had one of the 72-yard touchdown runs earlier, Dre Brown. A.J. Bush out to Stampley. Those seem to be pretty comfortable throws for A.J. Bush. 6-yard gain. A lot of times we talk about personnel groupings on air, Coach. 12 personnel, 11 personnel, 10 personnel. So take us through what 11 personnel
Well, you see 11 right there. What they're doing is they're telling the defenders 11 personnel. There's going to be 1 running back and 1 tight end. If they would say 10 personnel, it'd be 1 running back, no tight ends. And the thing about it is how many wide receivers? When you look at running backs, tight ends, and wide receivers, it's got to add up to 5.
Yeah, because you got 5 offensive linemen and then the quarterback. So 5 everywhere else to 11. Some vernacular that is talked about more and more, so we wanted to spell that out for you. A.J. Bush with a carry.
So just to follow up on that, if you saw somebody holding the card up, all the defensive players who said 22, they know that there's 2 tight ends, 2 running backs, 1 wide receiver.
11 personnel again on this play.
Yeah, well, when the Illini are on offense, you're not going to see much 22 personnel, I promise. You're going to see a lot of 11 and some 10. And And then when you hear an announcer say, well, they're in an empty set, that means the only guy left back there is the quarterback.
But they rarely, you're right, use the tight ends for Illinois. That was the first tight end touchdown they've had all year earlier this game when Barker scored. Stampley with another catch, and he's into Minnesota territory. We're seeing what's comfortable for Bush, right? These short throws around the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and you got to remember something. It's a new offense. Rod Smith, new offensive coordinator, and they didn't just put it in this week, but the longer you go, the more success you have, the more comfortable they get, the better it gets, and it's awfully good today.
Stampley came into the game with 6 catches. He has 8 today alone, as you see Rod Smith up there calling the plays. Sprinting out to the right. For more on A.J. Bush, who had the run there, let's go down to Elise Miniker.
A.J. Bush is one of the veterans on this team. Actually, before coming to Illinois, he played for 3 Power 5 schools. And when I asked him, what's the best part of your game, A.J., he said he's resilient. He has the experience, and Lovey told us that experience teaches you everything. A.J. said, more than my physical tools, I am resilient. I will always give my team 100%.
Well, and he's hit on his last 6 passes. He's 16 of 21 throwing it. He's rushed it for 97 yards. So he's been good in this game. Go! And this time he's hitting on another pass. No, it's dropped by Ricky Smalling.
Man, that was a good pass, good fake, good play action, good execution, except you got to catch the ball. And you talk about A.J. Bush, by far his best outing, best offensive outing there. They got momentum, they got confidence, and A.J. is going to Nebraska next week.
And
oh, man, you got to catch that.
Yeah, that's one Ricky Smalling knows he has to have. But you said it, best performance for A.J. Bush. A lot of people were saying, let's put in M.J. Rivers, so they did last week. He got the start, but left with a concussion. And Bush was good in relief. So now Bush gets the start here and has his best performance of the season. And he keeps and shows again what he can do with his legs. He's up over 100 yards on the ground.
First down.
I mean, I can't sugarcoat it. I mean, Illini doing pretty good, but that's poor defense. And we've seen it consistently. Every once in a while, you're going to see a hole like that, but when it's open all the time and you see the safety have to make the play, you got problems.
That's been the look that we've seen all afternoon from P.J. Fleck, who is a native of Illinois. Grew up in Sugar Grove, 120 miles due north of here. Go! Pushed out Sam May, second catch of the game.
Are you a little bit surprised that they continue to throw the football?
They have 412 rushing yards.
I'll tell you, no matter what it is, if you rush the ball for 300 yards, that's a really good day. 400 yards? Man, I'll tell you one thing. If offensive lineman, if you're flying home, you put them in first class, I can tell you that. and you're playing at home, they get in line, first in line at the training table.
Yeah, that O-line has been incredibly effective. Dre Brown this time getting behind the Big Uglies and pushing forward into the red zone for a pickup of 3.
Yeah, we're talking about those guys, Lowe and Green and Kramer. How about Allegretti? How many he's had? This is 32 straight starts or 33 straight starts?
33rd.
Huh? Man.
And Palczewski at right tackle, and all of those guys are from the state of Illinois and all stayed here. Rockford, Peoria, Hinsdale, Frankfort, Mount Prospect. And they've started every game. What a luxury that is to have the same unit up front.
If you ever want to enjoy really coaching football, coach the offensive line. They're the best position to coach. Unselfish, hardest workers.
Bush completes it down inside the 10. Austin Roberts The tight end, who doesn't see a whole lot of action, his first catch of the season, and goes for 10 yards.
All right, now I got to say this. I would say coming into this game, we were around here for a couple days. The consensus of the opinion was the Illini program is not going the right direction. I wonder what they're saying right now. It's amazing how improved you can get in 1 week.
Oh my goodness. I mean, this is just a total 180 from last week in College Park. Bush on the run, throws, and it is incomplete. I think he may have been looking for Mays in the back of the end zone. His teammate got in the way.
Yeah, they go with the play action pass. He opts not to throw it out there because they're going to play it, and then they start playing. And anyway you look, I mean, he could have got it in there, but yes. I'd be saying run the football. That's what I'd be saying. But
Stampley tried to take the touchdown away from Mays by accident. Tomorrow, State Farm after the game. Stay tuned for that. Mike Hall and company will join you from Chicago after 3+ more minutes on the clock. Whistles here before the snap.
Delay of game. 5-yard penalty on the offense. Still second down.
Second delay of game on this drive. They had one before they ran a play.
Yeah, well, those are things you always look at and you go back and revisit. And unfortunately, in coaching, a lot of times you minimize mistakes when you win and you overemphasize them when you lose. Those could cost you a game.
Unfortunate for Lovie Smith, his team is up 24 with 3 and some change. Bush keeps. Look at that move. Look at A.J. Bush.
Touchdown, Illinois.
He's done it all today.
A.J. Bush with a touchdown run.
A.J. Bush is saying, I want to play quarterback the rest of the season, not M.J. Rivers.
Yeah, normally when you see a quarterback keep it like this, the goal line, he'll go right toward the goal line. But, man, he stopped on a dime. He gave us one of those Reggie Corbin moves and went back to the right, no one there. And anytime you hang half 100 on a team, offensively, you got to feel pretty good.
Great blocking. Freedom as well. Thank you, Mike. That guy's been busy today, ringing that bell every time Illinois scores. And the workout. 55 points. First time they've scored 50 in a conference game since 2010. They actually lost that game in triple overtime at Michigan back in 2010. Douglas on the return. Tomorrow on Sunday, look at this, a lot of action. You got men's and women's soccer in between, field hockey, 12, 2, and 4 p.m. Eastern, championship Sunday. Don't miss it. BTN and the Fox Sports app.
What a way to spend your day off, huh? Sit on the couch, watch all that stuff.
Nothing better. So a 55-24 lead. Minnesota has it with inside of 3 minutes left. Morgan off the play fake, incomplete in front of Tyler Johnson.
Morgan's pass is headed for Tyler Johnson, incomplete.
Remember to stay tuned after the game. State Farm postgame. They'll get you caught up on everything happening in the Big Ten today. Mike, Stanley, and Chuck.
Now you can really put your ears back and rush the passer because you figure they're going to have to throw it.
He is throwing. Pockets clean. Nowhere to go. And he's taken down from behind. Mark Mondesir, excellent effort to get him.
Well, you called it because the protection is pretty good. They came with a late blitz, but there was nowhere to go with the football, and he tried to buy some time, but he got caught from behind.
Pondasir wreaking the havoc, 9-yard loss. And for whatever it's worth, it's looking like Tyler Johnson's streak of 4 consecutive 100-yard games is in serious jeopardy. He has 68 yards today. Morgan completes it to Bateman, and Bateman breaks free. It's a foot race. He will win all the way to the end zone for Minnesota, 86 yards.
I keep talking about these wide receivers, and this is their favorite route, the slant route, and just poorly defended there. And great catch by Bateman. He's off to the races, and they got a little bit better defending the pass, but you saw the linebacker almost got underneath it, but they're in poor position. Go ahead and catch it, but you got to get him to the ground.
And Bateman, we talked about the 67-yard touchdown last week to beat IU. Today's got a 61 and 86-yard score this quarter. Even though it's going to be in a losing effort, Coach, this is a freshman they're very high on.
Yeah, well, they should be high on him, but, you know, he's awful talented. You catch the slant route, and Lovie Smith would be the first one to tell you that's poor defense right there. Great catch by the young man, great speed, great athletic ability, but if you're playing good defense, they're not man coverage. You're not beating one guy one-on-one. Where's the safety? You got to get down there and make the play.
Bateman kind of came on late. He had a ton of ACC and SEC offers at the end, but he stayed with Minnesota, and he has a season best 175 yards today. Another reminder about volleyball for those Gopher fans, presented by American Ethanol. Third ranked tonight, hosting Michigan State, 8 Eastern here on BTN. So it might not help the outcome for Minnesota, but a good quarter for Bateman, and now the onside kick, you would have to think, right?
Yeah,
or do you even bother doing it?
They might go for it, but it's meaningless right now. It looks like they're going to go for it, but you'd have to think Illinois probably just going to run the clock out as long as they recover it.
They've got 2 kickers out there, Carpenter and Mack. It'll be John Mack that kicks it, but it's recovered by Illinois. Good job by Caleb Reams, the wide receiver, to jump on it.
Yeah, it was a good kick. They had a chance to do it. You always want it to hit the ground and then take that big hop right there up in the air. And when that happens, you got a chance.
Pretty good kick, you're right, by John Mack.
That was a great kick. That guy's got some leap in him too.
Boy, does he ever. Reams went way up the ladder. So A.J. Bush is done, and it will be M.J. Rivers coming in at quarterback, but first a whistle and a timeout by Illinois.
It will be a 30-second timeout.
Bush had a great day. He deserves that seat on the bench. Let's take a look at some of the good stuff he did.
Man, I hope we got a lot of time to watch this, because, I mean, he did it all. He's got running ability. He ran the offense. He knows how to get into the end zone. And, I guess when you get the running attack going with your running backs, and then you got a guy that can carry the ball like that, and he did a really nice job with a lot of the passes they did. He had his best day of college football in his entire career.
Earlier you noted it, started at Nebraska, didn't play, went to Iowa Western, then Virginia Tech, and now here at Illinois. His 4th school. Lovie Smith, maybe he's finally feeling good about that quarterback spot.
Well, he liked what he saw today. He's got to think that, they go to Nebraska, next week, and Nebraska gave Ohio State all they could handle today. But, Nebraska's struggling, especially, defensively. If that Illini defense can match up against Adrian Martinez in that offense, and defense gets a little bit better, hey, they'll have a chance out in Lincoln.
And they've got Iowa at home and at Northwestern, the final stretch for Illinois this season.
On the other end of it, Minnesota will go home and they have to face Purdue, who had a big win against Iowa today. And, you know, that'll be a handful for that Gopher defense, I can tell you that, because old Jeff Brom, the head coach at Purdue, and David Blau and Moore, that wide receiver, who I think is the most exciting player in the Big Ten Conference, they'll have their work cut out for him.
Lovie Smith called Rondale Moore the best offensive player in college football.
He must have been listening to me on the Big Ten Network. I've been saying that, but I absolutely agree with him. But here it's Lovie Smith's crew dominating Minnesota. The best performance that Illinois has had all year. They win it 55-31 over Minnesota. Yeah, you'd have to say that was as they like to say, that was a beat down. People were wondering how the Illini would come and play today. New defensive coordinator and the head coach being Lovie Smith, and they really liked Hardy Nickerson, as you said. It was emotional that he wasn't going to be here anymore, but old Lovie Smith had his guys ready to play today. Did he ever? And they talked about playing with an extra spirited effort for Hardy Nickerson and all that they've gone through this season.